Hello, coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. We start with Raphinha, who in a recent interview, he talks Neymar, Lewandowski, Dani Alves, World Cup. We are going to be looking at that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Ronald Araujo, as it has been reported that the injured Barcelona defender is in the final stretch of his recovery ahead of the World Cup. We're also going to be discussing on that. So guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Currently in the Brazilian camp, preparing for the upcoming FIFA World Cup, Raphinha sat down with Globo Esporte to talk about the coveted tournament, while also offering thoughts on former Barcelona superstar and international teammate Neymar. Raphinha appears to harbor an excellent relationship with the PSG superstar, as he said. Off the field, we get along very well. Neymar is an incredible person and welcoming. Today he receives the young players of the national team in the best way possible. We have a good relationship off the field. When I go to Paris or he comes to Barcelona, we meet and have dinner. For me, it's very recent. Being able to call Ney a close friend is an immense honor. He is one of the guys who inspire me a lot. The Barcelona winger, who arrived at the club only last summer, went on to review the influence Neymar has had in his international career. He said, "He told me to be myself, that I played the football that made me reach the national team, to go up and not lower my head." Since making his debut for Brazil in October 2021, Raphinha has won 11 caps for the national team. Many now expect him to play as a crucial role in helping the Seleção secure the coveted World Cup for the first time since 2002. Raphinha, though, is not taking anything for granted. He said, "I will play as if it were my last World Cup. I talk to my father, we always talk, and we see each game as if it were the last, because you don't know tomorrow. I can't guarantee that I will play another World Cup. Honestly, I don't know. I will play as if it were my last. Maybe I will play another, maybe not. It depends. Maybe they could change coach. I don't know if the new coach will like me," and so on and so forth. The Brazilian international also talked about his Barca teammate Robert Lewandowski. Of course, he held the pole for his fitness and athleticism even at the age of 34. He said, "I will tell you the truth. Since he's an older guy, I expected less from him, but he got here, and every training session he does is incredible. It's never enough for him. He always gives his best. He runs a lot. He helps with marking. He moves well in the area. He has a good header. He finishes off with both legs. It's really amazing. You see yourself at 25 working hard. You think you are at your best, and you see a guy who is 34 trying to do his best every day. So it's amazing. His way of working is very inspiring." Finally, Raphinha offered his take on Dani Alves, who had been training with Barcelona B side recently, and the level of influence he holds in the Brazilian team. He also praised him for his leadership qualities, saying, "He's a guy who, since he finished the Mexican Championship and came here, is looking for his best physical shape. He works hard. I see him as a great player, a great worker, and a great captain. There is nothing to say about his leadership. It is spectacular." There has been some criticism over Tite's decision to include Dani Alves in the World Cup squad. Giving his take on the matter, Raphinha said, "It's difficult to say, because if they'll include him as it happened, people criticize it, and they would do if it was not included too. I follow every little journalism. I focus on my work, and my family. One day you are up there and another day you are down here. When you are down and you don't have a good head, you end up trembling and you can't get out. When they tell you great things, you end up deceiving yourself. And when they tell you bad things, you think you are the worst in the world, and you are not, he said. Great words there from Raphinha, of course, who will be playing his first ever World Cup with Brazil. And he feels excited for that World Cup. And of course, it's great to see him there in the squad. And I can't wait to see how he performs. Of course, Raphinha joined Barca in the summer, in the summer of this year. And even though he has not lived up to expectations, but Raphinha is a world-class, spectacular player. We bought him for a reason. I definitely think that gradually he will come to his best. The Raphinha we're seeing week in, week out at Leeds United will definitely come to his best. So let's see how he performs at the World Cup, And of course, the national team, they are one of the favorites, if not the favorites, to win the World Cup, Brazil. So it's going to be excited to see how Raphinha performs there. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. Despite being injured and having undergone surgery, Barcelona defender Ronald Araujo was named in the Uruguay squad for the upcoming FIFA World Cup 2022 in Qatar. The 23-year-old sustained a thigh injury while on international duty in September and opted to go under the knife to treat it. Upon surgery, it was expected that the centre-back could be on the shelf for 2 to 3 months, which cast a lot of doubts over his involvement in the World Cup. But in order to make himself available for the coveted tournament, Araujo has pushed himself to recover in time. Happy with how things have progressed, Uruguay manager Diego Alonso included him in the squad for the trip to Qatar. Now, journalist Roger Torello is reporting that Araujo is in the final stretch of his recovery and is pushing himself to participate in the tournament. This comes after footage of Araujo doing light training with the national team emerged earlier today. Barcelona gave the defender the green light to travel to Qatar as long as he was accompanied by a club physio who could track his recovery and fitness. Reports even suggested that there was a gentleman's agreement between the club and the Uruguay Football Federation that Araujo will only be used in the knockout stages of the World Cup and will not be risked in the group phase. And Torello adds that Barca continue to hope that the defender futures only after Uruguay make it to the knockout rounds, as they want him to avoid the risk of an injury relapse. Uruguay, who also counts on former Barca superstar Luis Suarez, have been drawn in Group H, also consisting of Song Heung-min's South Korea, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, and Ghana. So things will be tricky for Uruguay as they might have to rely on Araujo earlier than expected. It remains to be seen how things do progress with regards to his recovery over the coming week. Given that there are still 10 days before Uruguay play their first match in the World Cup. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.